We are back with the League of Genuine Conversations, a program that discusses the big subject of counterfeits that is often ignored. This is the only program on the planet where we have this conversation. This week there was breaking news that a big launch by the Uganda Communications Commission was underway for the sensitization initially on counterfeit or fake, illegitimate communication devices, which includes your mobile phones. And we think, as the Anti-Counterfeit Network, as the League of the Genuine, that this has been long overdue. So today we have the pleasure to have with us in the studio the head of public relations, public and international relations from the Uganda Communications Commission. Join me in welcoming Rebecca Mokite. Rebecca, you are welcome.
Thank you.
The last I saw you at the launch last Monday at your head offices in Bugolobi.
Yeah.
You were like an encyclopedia on what is fake and what is genuine. We're happy to have you here. This issue of the fake phone represents a big part of what is faked. Electronics are among the most faked products.
Yeah.
Our viewers here would like to know what campaign you have. You can tell us the name, give us whatever information you need, so we set the ball rolling.
Thank you for this opportunity. I welcome our viewers to join this conversation, which we shall try to keep in English. We'll stay away of all the technical language. But essentially the background to this is initially when the commission the government of Uganda liberalized the sector, our target or our priority as UCC was to drive access to the services, ICT services. And then as access improved, both access at the network end and at the device end, as it improved, and as growth of the use of these devices became more intricate, then our priorities started now moving to certain details that at that point we didn't think were very important. But right now, almost everywhere in this country there's a footprint of a network and people using the network. So it's really timely for us to start this other part of the conversation about what kind of devices people have, because as I think the viewers or anyone can relate, especially during the pandemic, the range of things we use our devices grew or became even more intimate. We were transacting, our children were studying, we were communicating, we were doing all kinds of things using these devices. Yes. So as you use this device more, it gets more and more of a footprint of your life. It has your information, your pictures, your contacts, your transactions. It has a footprint of your life. So it's important that to which you map that footprint of your life is actually a genuine or a legitimate device.
Okay, so Rebecca, I need to cut you there. So this campaign, for those who missed the news, which I doubt they did, why is it called Simu KLEAR? Two questions there. First of all, Simu KLEAR, the way it's even written, is slang. Slang is an informal way of communication, and for us, counterfeits are part of that informality. And so why would you choose such language to try and push us to use genuine phones? Why would you use slang in the campaign?
Okay, so the scope of this campaign is the anti-illegitimate communication device campaign. It's really a mouthful. And in the range of illegitimate devices, we have those with invalid IMEIs, those with tampered IMEIs.
What is IMEI?
The IMEI is the unique identifier that every mobile device has. Unique identifier, like if I could use an analogy, like your NIN, the NIN of your ID. So these mobile devices also have what would be like a NIN, a unique identity.
So it's like the number plate of my car.
Yes, number plate, NIN, something that identifies the specifications, the manufacturer, and the behavior of this device. So that unique identifier, okay, I was talking about the scope. We talked about those with invalid, those with tampered IMEIs, stolen devices, and devices that are not type approved. So it's a little bit unique, but then it was a mouthful. But we needed to make... But it all
is anchored on the number, on
yes,
the serial number, the identifier.
Yes,
okay.
Yes, the identifier, which is different from the serial number, because the serial number of a device is strictly for the manufacturers to track batches and all that. But the IMEI is what authorizes the manufacturer of that phone and the network, wherever that phone is used, to map and work together with your mobile number. So it's a very important number.
You're now talking like an engineer. I am lost.
No, I am coming back
so
to English.
The ESN is the electronic serial number.
Yes.
And you're saying that is different from the IMEI, which is the International Mobile Equipment
Identifier.
Identification or identifier. And
Yes.
you're saying those two, is there one on top of the other?
The IMEI is on top of the serial number.
Oh, it comes
because
last.
The IMEI, no, it's the superior. That's why it's even put on the cover, and it's not even assigned by the manufacturer. It's assigned by an entity called GSMA, the proprietary consortium of companies that own this technology, the mobile technology.
So is it possible for me to have a correct serial number and a fake IMEI number?
Very possible. Because even the people who are making those illegitimate devices also serialize them to track their movements.
To see if you're faking against their fake.
To not really fake, but to see that, okay, this is the range of devices we've produced, because serial numbers are used for different things for the manufacturer. But the IMEI is actually assigned to a manufacturer. They don't make their own IMEI. GSMA gives them a range of IMEI to use for different gadgets, for different regions. So you find that the bulk of devices that come to Africa will have a certain range of IMEI. The bulk of devices in Europe will have a particular range of IMEI. This manufacturer will have a particular range of IMEI, you know.
Okay, so you are saying that the campaign is to help us to identify, to check our IMEI.
To be able to know the status of your device, whether it's legitimate or illegitimate, using the IMEI. Because that's the superior identifier.
Okay. So we are going to do a demonstration here. I hope I don't have a fake phone. You're saying that what should I do if during this campaign, there are some numbers you read.
Yes.
What should somebody do in order to determine if their phone has a genuine IMEI identifier?
Okay.
So how do we do it? 3
steps. 1, you have to know what brand and model you're holding. Because even if you do this check, if you don't know, then that's also a problem in a different way. So I have to know that this is, what phone is this?
This is a BlackBerry.
That is a BlackBerry of a particular model. Then you dial star.
So I first have to know, I know generally this is a BlackBerry. I don't care about the model, whether it was made in 1900, but it's a BlackBerry. Isn't it sufficient for me? I bought it in a box. It was genuine from Dubai. So I want now to go and see on the set
IMEI,
here, the IMEI. What do I do?
I don't know, what network do you have in your MTN or Airtel?
Airtel.
Now, since it's Airtel, then you have to first know your IMEI separately. You dial star hash 06 hash to know your IMEI.
Star hash 06 hash.
So
like that?
Yes. And it brings a 16-digit number. But
are you guys seeing it? So I have a genuine phone, you see?
Not yet. This is not the determination of whether it's genuine or not.
I thought if it comes, I'm already genuine.
No.
I'm clear.
No, because IMEIs are forged. That's what is driving the illegitimacy of devices.
You said I should have 16.
You should have 16 devices, but
are those
of
16
these,
numbers?
yes, they should be 16 or more. I can't count them. Of these, the most critical are the first 8 or 9.
So my first 8 is 35539.
So we write those ones down. You said it's
355 39
39
80
80
91.
91. So then you go to star
So
197.
I now say okay.
Yes.
It is saying okay.
And that is going to go away.
So when I say okay, it goes away.
Yes. Now you go to the portal that UCC has created that can help people verify the status of their devices.
Of my IMEI.
Of your IMEI. So
whether
now,
it's cloned, tampered with. Okay.
fake.
So what do I punch in now?
So then you punch in star 197.
Star 197
star 4 hash.
star 4 hash. Okay. And then I call.
It must be asking for
it's
your...
saying USSD.
Enter IMEI.
The one
So
which...
now you
But I
enter
don't have it.
this IMEI. The assumption is that you've written it somewhere. I wrote it down for you.
But you wrote only the first 6.
Yeah,
the
you
first
can
9.
write the full 8, but even the first 6 can do.
So
because
can we enter and see?
Okay,
so it is
355
355
398
398
091.
091.
Yeah.
I
let's
enter,
first
I
that.
send.
Yeah, I hope I don't have to fill in the rest with zeros. Let's first send.
This is difficult. So we have to be having a pen.
Sorry, let me just redo this very fast. So it is oh, these are really small.
It's not
digits.
easy to operate this.
A BlackBerry.
So we go back to my
star 197
star 197
star 4 hash
star 4 hash.
Yeah.
But this asks for the IMEI which we hadn't recorded.
You recorded the IMEI. This is the IMEI that you recorded the first time when we typed star hash
it wasn't
06.
full.
Okay. Then we need to first get your IMEI.
So let's go back to the IMEI
Yeah.
first. This time we record it.
The full
So
one.
we're doing a live, and maybe we shall also check your phone to see the PRO of UCC. What kind of phone? I'm now in an exam here.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can pass the exam.
The last one was...
Okay, let's now start for my IMEI.
Okay, to know your IMEI.
Yes, to know my IMEI, it is
star hash
06
hash.
hash. So let's record my IMEI. Let me read it for you. It is 355
okay
398
398
091
091
088
088
68
68
1
1
/31.
/31.
But there are 2 numbers.
Is this a dual SIM?
No,
Then it let me see.
I have 2 numbers.
Mr.
In fact, I did it during the...
I hope you are not...
I did this during the dialogue, and I asked the same question to your engineer. I don't know who it was.
Ideally...
And it had 2 numbers.
Ideally,
Brand new
if it's
phone.
a dual SIM phone, it should have...
I think it can
2
carry
IMEIs.
dual, but I use 1.
Oh, no. Then it has 2 IMEIs.
Okay.
Yes.
So a dual SIM card,
A dual
I think make
SIM
this clear.
phone will give you 2 IMEIs because IMEI maps onto the network. Now that means your phone has the ability to map onto 2 networks at the same time.
With the same device.
With the same device, but the networks will be seeing this device using 2 different identifiers.
Okay. And why do I have a /31?
Now, /31, those are the peculiarities of different manufacturers.
Maybe this is to show that it's genuine, double genuine. Okay, but how many characters?
So these are 1, 2,
those?
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Then 31 is 16.
Oh, 31 is 1 number.
Yes.
Okay, now I want to see
So,
if I have a fake. Now, what do I do?
so then you type star 197
Star 197
star 4 hash.
star 4 hash.
Yeah.
It is right there. You can see it. I'm
And
doing
then-
the correct thing.
Yeah, and then
Okay.
you dial.
So I dialed.
Yeah.
I'm going to get the USSD. Okay.
And it's prompting you to now enter your IMEI.
So I'm now going to enter. Read it for me.
355
355
398
398
091
091
088
088
681
681
/31. I don't think you need the /31, but /31.
I'm gonna find it. I can't see properly.
I think you can, if you entered that one, it would also bring the details.
Just hold on.
Okay.
Where is the...
Because being a USSD, sometimes it times out.
Ryan, can you help me to find slash here? It has got lost.
Sometimes.
Okay, let me just put and see.
Yeah. So has it returned?
Enter external application down.
Now, this is an error I've had since Friday, because a lot of people are prompting the system at the same time. Since Thursday.
Oh, so
you
there's
keep
traffic
trying.
jam.
Yes, when you prompt the network. But let me try and see if the one for MTN is less congested. We have quite a bit of people who are prompting the network at different times, including people who are selling phones.
Okay.
They're all prompting the same system.
Everybody is hurrying
to establish.
call.
Yeah, *197 *4 hash.
Okay.
Okay, so
maybe
you see on
so
MTN,
you show the camera.
okay.
Can you zoom and we see?
So now this is on MTN. The difference between Airtel and MTN is that Airtel, you need to know your IMEI, and then when you prompt this, you then enter your IMEI. But for MTN, when you prompt it, the system automatically picks the IMEI of the device
and goes to confirm,
and sends
to validate.
you exactly. So it sends you that this is a Redmi Note 8 Pro. And then MTN follows this up with a message from the network that then tells you that, you see, it's now
so
sending.
for you, you are clear.
Yes, I'm clear.
Let us see if Rebecca is clear. So what is the message?
So MTN is now...
Your device serial number is legitimate.
Yes.
With the details.
Yes.
Redmi Note 8 Pro.
Yeah.
And this one is made in China. China manufactures most.
Yes,
actually,
it's made in China.
99% of the phones, I'm
Yes.
sure even mine,
Yeah.
is made in China. So we're going to take a break. But Rebecca, you can see that we need to constantly
Yeah.
give this information,
Yeah.
explain it to for this
people.
campaign to be successful.
Yes,
and that's why,
right.
as the Anti-Counterfeit Network, the League of the Genuine, we are happy to support and to be part of this. We need to take a break. We are back with the second segment of our League of the Genuine Conversations. Here we are with the Public Relations and International Relations. Why do you have two offices? You fit in two chairs, or it's one thing?
They depend on each other because of the nature of the institution. The mandate of the commission pitches it locally to the consumers in Uganda and internationally, because communication has to be aligned to international standards.
Okay,
Yeah.
so let me ask a question relevant to domestic and local.
Yeah.
Domestically, we now have a local manufacturer, though they are owned by China, Simu. Simu, they've just released the first batch of locally made mobile phones. Internationally, China manufactures more than 90%
Yeah.
of all mobile phone devices.
Yeah.
I'm sure even this should be made in China.
Yeah.
How is the Simu KLEAR campaign engaging the original equipment manufacturers, the manufacturers of this equipment? Seeing, as you have seen here, sometimes it's congested.
Yeah.
I may not be able to verify quickly my phone.
Yeah.
How are you engaging the manufacturers and service providers?
Okay, so through our membership to international bodies like the ITU, most of the work that goes into standards development, standards are what help us to coexist and interoperate between equipment and technology. So in the standards development fraternity, you have governments, you have equipment manufacturers, you have operators, because all those people have a contribution to the ecosystem that has to enable them work together and to draw their different interests, whether they are financial, or they're building their brands, or they're investing in research and technology. So we all have a common interest as those other stakeholders that requires that these standards have to work together.
Okay, the standard on the quality of equipment, the standard on the quality of service.
And
those two are connected.
Yes, and the interfaces. So if this the only way this can be a successful campaign is when we align ourselves with all those different entities, so that as a normal Ugandan, you don't have to worry, where does my phone come from? Will it work on a Ugandan network? So the standardization process is what removes those things that you can't take care of as a normal consumer. As a basic consumer, you just want to buy a device and it works. Now, we work with all those entities at different layers, should I say. So at standards making level, we work with them within the umbrella and fraternity of the ITU. And then right here, we work with the operators to implement this, because the status of your phone affects your quality of service, affects the network, because these illegitimate devices, they also disrupt the network because they're unpredictable. They don't work the way they're expected to work. So if, for example, there was no standardization on the dimension on how wide a car can be, and someone can make a car that is 3 feet wide, how would the people who are making roads know how big a lane can be?
Some standardization.
So
yes,
yes.
I hear you when you say that the fake phones, I mean, even the operating systems that they have, they are prone to drop calls because they don't get updates and so on. But now I'm still remaining intimate with the brand owners and service providers. Are you, as a means of supporting this campaign, going to require service providers to up their game, to make sure that their networks are not down, to make sure, because we've been, let's face it, I'm on Airtel. Sometimes I get issues. I cannot call, it's blank. I'm sure it's the same also on MTN. So have you asked the telcos, have you asked the manufacturers to support this in a bigger way than before, in order not to frustrate the consumers and the public? Or is it going to be as usual? No. In which case it can delay the period of engagement, and yet you want to go and enforce. So some people might say, look, I lost a month in time. I could not access.
Okay. So, no. This time round, we're already working with the operators. Okay.
They are on board.
They are already on board. And yes, our network quality sometimes gets compromised for issues, sometimes beyond their control, sometimes within their control, but that's a work in progress. And it can be complemented by this campaign. This system, or the portals that consumers are using to check, get congested. Of course, we're encouraging people to keep trying, but then also the networks, because of the response we've gotten, have increased, how can I say, the capacity. They are working to increase the capacity of the portals so that many people can probe the system at the same time without you getting congestion or network down. And that's the same thing even for other services. Now, when it comes to device manufacturers, we are working with them, and we intend to continue working with them to strengthen the original trader program, because these are the people who are already bearing the liability of paying and investing in research and technology and advancing the quality of the devices while bringing down the cost. So the only way we can complement them for the already good work they're doing, because we can all agree that the cost of mobile phones is steadily coming down.
Mobile phones and mobile per minute, for example, is it the lowest or highest in the region?
Yes, we are right now doing very well in the region in comparison to our neighbors. The cost of our calls and internet, yes, have really gone down. But back to the traders. As UCC, we don't import or interface with traders. So the manufacturers and the traders are our interface with consumers. And this campaign is in their best interest, because they also have a business interest to grow their brand. And when someone experiences an illegitimate device, they can hate that brand forever, because its behavior is irritating. It's very transient and unreliable. You keep losing network. You can't download updates. You
also lose airtime on an illegitimate phone.
Yes, because you keep dropping calls and then you have to reinitiate the call again. Everyone else has network apart from you. But that aside, that illegitimate device is exposing you to a health hazard, because it's radiating power that has not been tested. You're exposing yourself to a lot of radiation, to poisonous metals, to unpredictable electrical and mechanical behavior. Because sometimes you're charging this phone and then the socket starts smoking, or this phone becomes very hot when you're talking it, you have to first stop and allow the phone to cool down.
So these migraines, these headaches people have, people go to bed with the phone on the pillow. You're saying this is not allowed, actually.
If you do not know the
fake.
status of your phone, you don't know what you're exposing yourself and your family to, because we give these phones to our children to study with them. But once it's illegitimate, once it has not been assigned that IMEI by GSMA, it means it hasn't gone through a certain conformity testing interval.
To ensure public health standards.
All those aspects. The RF aspects, which is the radio waves and the power it's emitting, There are aspects of electro and mechanical behavior, performance. Because if you tell me that this phone is a 4G phone, it should be able to connect to a 4G network. But someone will sell to you an illegitimate phone and tell you that it's even a 5G phone.
But when we have 5G now.
No, we don't have 5G yet. Commercially
Some
rolled
people
out.
Are saying it's dangerous.
No.
Or this is a scheme to bring 5G.
No, it's not. It's not dangerous at all, but that's a discussion for another time.
Another day.
Yes.
But now somebody listening to you might be saying, okay, this is good, I may check, but we have a problem of the quality of internet in Uganda. Is UCC just giving us bad internet, slow internet? Well, can you just speak to that? Because this is an enabler of Simu KLEAR, the internet.
So the quality of internet is affected by so many other things, so many things that we cannot go into that discussion without not necessarily.
Like here in Kololo, sometimes the internet is bad. So the service provider told me, you know, the buildings and the trees. Is it a matter of trees?
There is an element of your barrier to your physical interface to the next mast. So if you're in an area that has a lot of buildings or that has thick concrete, you might need an indoor site to complement your network, to boost your network, to make your power higher. But that discussion of the quality of internet has a lot of other dependencies that might be beyond the scope of this discussion.
Isn't the quality of the internet going to affect the validation process of Simu KLEAR?
The validation process of Simu KLEAR is going directly to the network. It has nothing to do with the internet. So even
but it's web enabled. You just saw me. I was trying. That is internet.
No, it's not web enabled. The USSD connects you directly to the switch, the network switch, which then returns you a message. It has. It's not dependent on the internet.
You are saying the quality of internet, even when internet is down, you can still
check. Even people with cavity can do.
Actually, that was the other question.
And check. It's not for smartphones only. It's for all mobile devices that use a SIM card. It doesn't have to be a smart gadget.
Now, what is an illegitimate device? What is the fake phone? Is the fake phone one only with the wrong IMEI number, or can it also be fake when it has a fake battery, when it has a fake memory card, when it has a fake charger? Fake, is it confined only to the IMEI? And are you living, therefore, if my IMEI is correct but my battery is fake, I'm safe?
Okay, so because of technology advancement, nowadays you can't put this phone apart. It's a unit. You get as in
technology advancement.
Yes, those days
does
you would
not allow to open the phone.
Yes, and normally when you tamper with the casing of the phone.
So are you confirming that my phone is advanced? Try to open and get the battery.
It is very, very. Should I say close to impossible for you now to be able to open any of these gadgets?
So I cannot get in a fake battery.
No.
I cannot get in a fake memory card.
You can get in a fake memory card, but that is now a peripheral. It's not manufactured as part of the phone. It is a slot on the phone.
Where you can fix.
Exactly. Now, and the beauty of having a legitimate device is that if you attach anything that's not fake, genuine to it, it will not recognize it, because they are also building defense systems around their systems to ensure that now, even for, I think for iOS, even if you replaced your Apple gadget with a fake screen, the phone won't recognize it.
So my question is, are the phone accessories part of your campaign? The fake phone accessories, are they part of your campaign, or you're only dealing with this device, and then you're leaving us to go and get fake chargers.
What's happening now, this campaign is limited to the device because it's the device that connects to the network, and the limitations of our technology are scoped to the device. However, the complementary accessories is now where the manufacturers come in to complement and support these campaigns, and that's happening globally. So you find that for so many of the phones that are coming out now, when you try to connect even a fake charger to it, it just won't recognize it.
It won't charge.
Yes, I put this phone on charge and you come back and it won't be charged, because the phones have the intelligence now to be able to know what peripherals are right or wrong.
My next question is, you're talking of very complicated things, technical things, the compatibility, I don't know what. Does Uganda have the technical ability to check for these phones, or we are just on a fishing expedition? Is the technology there? Do we have it present, or we're just going to procure it?
Actually, it's important for me to tell our viewers now that between UCC and the operators, we already know the status of your phones already. So that...
Are you using Juju or something? Do you have equipment?
Yes.
Do you have...
We do have a central equipment identity register.
Central equipment identity register. You have it right now?
We have it in place.
For how long have you had it?
We've had it for the past, I think, 3 or so years. I need to be sure of the dates, but we've had it to see the extent and the behavior of the gadgets on the networks to monitor exactly. And that equipment is already in place, and we can see what the movement of and the status of the gadgets on the networks are. So
as we speak now, with this equipment sitting in the UCC, you can confidently tell us that we have this number of fake phones, this model, this type. Even maybe you can tell us the gender. How many are women?
I'm telling you.
Sure.
I'm telling you.
So how many fake phones do we have? How many fake phones do we have on the system?
I can't, because the nature of the network is that the device is connected to the network is not a static figure. It's a transient figure. It's a number in motion. So, but I can confidently say that I think in the past 3 months or so, up to 6 million
phones,
illegitimate devices have connected to the different networks we have in the country.
Because there's a report of OECD that I looked at. OECD is an international, and it said 1 of every 5 phones in the world is fake.
Yeah.
That makes an average of 20%.
Yes, and that's
and therefore I am saying, if we have what do you call it, a barometer which checks the fakes and on the system, and now UCC has launched this campaign to stop the fakes, but today somebody is checking. I don't know if you can check the SIA now, the system.
No,
from here.
I can't probe it from here.
So what are you doing with the people connecting today?
The people,
it is fake and you're letting them connect. Then later you're going to sanction them. What are you doing to those connections that are fake now?
So first of all, this period, right now the estimation is that we're going to work with an aggressive consumer behavioral change campaign for up to, I think, 6 months. And the assumption is that this person connecting now on an illegitimate device, it will either have died by that time, where we have to go into the next step of enforcement.
They will keep working.
Or it will either have frustrated the user, the owner, to the point of putting it aside, or the owner will now be very aware of what they're exposing themselves to and will voluntarily say, no. Because the negatives of these illegitimate devices really outweigh whatever it is someone would be imagining that they're compensating for that device. So we are working
but Rebecca, we are not saying that we are encouraging people to still buy fake phones and go on the system. I think we are saying, no, you stop actually from now. So are we planning to do anything with other players like customs to tell them, from now onwards, please check hand luggage, check this, stop the fakes from coming? Isn't that something we're doing now, you think?
Now, the challenge is that...
Or we shall do later?
There's going to be different levels of enforcement. I'll take a few steps back. At the beginning of this campaign, we started with stakeholder engagement, and all those people were engaged. No, they were part of this conversation. The customs people, the standards people, the operators, the traders. We've had different conversations with each of these stakeholders to understand how to complement each other's mandates in fighting, in complementing our campaign. So you'll find that at those custom entry points, because these devices are not powered and the tools we have in place right now can only test a powered device that is connecting to the network. We are starting with that range of devices. However, the scope of this campaign is also extending to devices that are not type approved, and that's another process that the Commission undertakes that seeks to support the trader who's bringing in devices from China or from wherever they bring their devices from, to send and work with our technical team to see that they type approve and verify conformity to the tests I told you about. Now that's the type approval process that is mainly targeting the traders, people who are doing bulk purchases, and they do that process before importing. So if you're doing it before importing, it means even this trader has the opportunity to check the devices they're bringing in,
whether it's type approved
exactly
or not. Rebecca, we need to take a break. We're going to return with the third and last segment of this conversation of the League of the Genuine. We are dealing with the big campaign Simu KLEAR by Uganda Communications Commission. Don't move away. We are back with the third and last segment of the League of the Genuine Conversations. Here I'm with the head of public relations, domestic and international. Rebecca, you were talking about type approval. Some people out there might be wondering, where do I take my phone for approval? Are you now saying I check my IMEI number and then I also go for type approval? What is this type approval about? And when does it occur?
Type approval is one of the services that UCC offers to the consumers in Uganda, but mainly for traders, people who are bringing in any ICT-based equipment, products and services, products mainly, to test them for conformity to international standards and the other tests that we articulate in our framework. That includes the electrical and mechanical, these are RF tests, there are the
So type approval, if I'm a trader, I must get a type approval certificate from UCC.
Yes.
When I import in phones.
Before.
Before.
That process is done preferably before.
So I order for my phones from China.
Yes.
Or Dubai.
Yeah.
And then I send to UCC a packing list of these phones.
We have a list of requirements that you engage us. We have a system, an online system. Actually, you don't even have to come to our offices directly. We have an online system that allows you to initiate that type approval process. You attach everything we need. You liaise with whoever is selling to you these pieces from wherever you're importing from.
So I take picture of the phone as a trader, because we have a partnership with Casita to fight counterfeits on this platform. And I know they are watching. So you are telling them, take a picture, or just take the picture of the box, and then I send on your portal online, and then you tell me wrong, yes, wrong.
No. We have a comprehensive list of requirements, type approval requirements, and that in which is supposed to be provided to you by the people who are selling to you. Wherever you're buying from, they should be able to tell you that you're importing these Redmi Note 8 Pros. These are their conformity test results. These are their specifications. This is their packaging. This is everything, as in it's comprehensive. And then we engage you based on what you provide with us to issue you a type approval certificate that yes, Mr. Mwema is importing these phones or intends to import these phones. We have evaluated all the documentation of these.
Becky, supposing at the time the trader gives you the information. He actually has this BlackBerry and he says he's going to bring it. After you give the certificate, he puts in the box something else. How do you ensure that the certificate you issued in respect of phone X does not bring in phone Y?
Because that certificate is specific to a brand and a model. And
with an IMEI number?
Yes, all those details are there, a batch of IMEIs. Now, the engagement we had at the beginning of this campaign, those are some of the areas where we need now to work with the customs people, with the standards people, to see how our different gatekeeping initiatives can work together and complement each other so that they pursue their interests and we pursue our interests, but in a complementary way without anyone frustrating the efforts of the other. Now, when we bring you our own board and they understand that, oh, UCC undertakes this type of approval process, this is the requirement. When they're evaluating the tax or customs duties of that person, they will also have that checkpoint.
So are you telling the consumer now listening to you that it is good practice if you're going to buy your phone from a phone dealer to ask them for the type approval certificate?
Yep. And it should be branded UCC and it should have that brand and model, because those are some of the initiatives being undertaken behind the scenes to, first of all, start cleaning up the market, but then also to protect consumers.
To protect consumers?
Yes, ultimately to protect consumers, because that type of approval process has taken care of some of these things behind the scenes.
Many consumers, either due to misinformation or propaganda, think that these campaigns might be having some political overtures. Can you pitch to the consumer why this is good for them in terms of the human health, in terms of the privacy? Many consumers end up having their private pictures being stolen and put. You've had situations of nudes.
Yeah.
Is it much easier to lose your private pictures when you have a fake phone? Issues to do with security. Just pitch for us in a minute. Why is this a campaign for the people and it has nothing to do with politics or other issues?
Okay. So our overriding goal as UCC is to drive or increase consumer satisfaction as they use these products, these phones and ICTs generally. But as you use them, we know that ICTs improve your lives and everything. But when you have a bad or illegitimate device, the advantages of using the device are going to be diminished by the disadvantages. How? When that device is illegitimate, it's not been tested for conformity to any standard. Meaning someone is sitting in their garage, getting all kinds of things, manufacturing this device without testing how it will respond to electricity in Uganda, how it responds to the network and its behavior generally. So when you have this device and you don't know its status, you are exposing your health, you are exposing...
What are some of the health risks? These days we have a lot of, cancers, a lot of people having, I don't know, a tumor, people are getting clots and so on. Anything to do with these gadgets from your information? Misuse of these?
I might not have all the health information to qualify that, but I know that when the device is, before GSMA assigns that IMEI, they've ensured and tested that this device that's going on market has safe levels of radiation that my body can accommodate or that a child can accommodate. Now, that device that is illegitimate, that has a fake IMEI, has not been tested for that power level. So you're exposing yourself and your family to much higher levels of radiation than what is acceptable. Because
in fact, just to support what you're saying, you see, like the US is the wealthiest nation in the world, and it has the highest concentration of mobile telephone penetration. But it's not a coincidence that it also has the highest incidence of leukemia, blood cancer, because of a lot of these. So the radio frequency emissions all over the place, you're saying they can actually be a big thing if you are using a fake device. It does not meet the standards.
The specification.
You will have all the
yes.
heavy metals in there, the
Exactly.
amount of copper, zinc.
Exactly.
So this is a public health issue. It's not a political issue.
No.
It is, our safety is in our hands.
Your safety is in your hands. Your money. A lot of us are now transacting on these devices. Now, a genuine or legitimate device has different defense levels that is done on the network side and on the device side. For a genuine device, your device always keeps telling you, oh, you have updates on this. Part of those updates are security checkpoints for different parts of the applications on your device. Now, when you have an illegitimate device, it's not updating your security apps, meaning your transactions are exposed, your content is exposed, including pictures. Because many people wonder why is it easier to hack certain devices than the other ones? Most of them are illegitimate because they don't update. They're not building up their defense from the hackers who are always probing and trying. So they look for a vulnerable one. The easiest one to hack will be that one that's not updated. Your content, your emails, your transactions, you're exposing yourself.
So you're saying even the online bank frauds, people getting in and getting your password.
Yep.
If you have a fake phone, it's very easy to break in and you lose money.
Because most of them don't even support this is going to sound like the double authentication systems that banks are putting in place. Everyone else is trying to protect you more. But
every time they do an update,
access, yes, you're not
when they do an
getting
update on the operating system, because you have a fake, it has no capacity to carry the update. So
most of the systems now are intelligent. They know already which device is fake, which one is genuine. So you're isolated. When you have an illegitimate device, you're isolated. All the systems in place on the networks, on the banking side, at international level, the internet can already know which device is genuine, which one is fake. So they totally ignore the illegitimate ones. So you get frustrated. You're wondering why your phone is not, why you can't download apps, because they keep saying this app is free on Android. You don't even have the Play Store because it's a fake or illegitimate gadget. Now, when you have an illegitimate gadget, you're connecting to very exposing interfaces without the requisite security to protect you on those systems.
In fact, we have seen cases where if you're buying a counterfeit phone, the counterfeit manufacturer, because they are unethical, they are dubious people, the moment you connect to the system, they have access to all your information and they can play around with your issues. But let's even talk about security. Somebody in the police, we do work with the police, they told us that counterfeit phones are complicating the investigation of murders and robberies. Why? Because the murderer or the robber uses a phone with a cloned IMEI or whatever it is. After they have committed the crime, you can't trace the phone on the system. So the investigation collapses right there. So if people are complaining that the police is not working, that maybe government is not doing enough to help in curbing crime, we, the people ourselves, are propagating crime against ourselves by actually embracing and using the fake phones,
the illegitimate devices.
So the more reason we need to embrace Simu KLEAR.
Yes, and Simu KLEAR is also going to greatly combat stolen devices, because the moment your device is stolen, because now most systems are intelligent, when your device is stolen and someone tries to tamper with it to crack it, the device can tell, our systems can tell that someone has tried to tamper with this IMEI. So we will be able to block them, and when you block them, you lose the incentive of stealing this device, because if you're not going to be able to use it anywhere else, then the incentive of stealing is lost. However, also you who's buying that device off someone without knowing that it's maybe been stolen or used in a crime before, the system will now map your SIM card to a device that is already under
So you're saying
investigation.
because there's a big business of selling used phones.
Exactly.
So what are you telling the viewer under Simu KLEAR?
Yeah.
What do we do to ensure that even if it's a used phone, I am safe with it? What do I do?
So if you're buying a used phone, we're still encouraging people to buy it and get proof of that transaction. That's the first thing. Because
that I bought it,
yes, that
from wherever, I
from
show you a
wherever,
receipt.
yes.
How many people keep receipts? Or I just go straight for the IMEI and check with them?
Both. First you have proof of transaction, and then you check that IMEI to be sure that it has not been tampered with. Because many times, because our friends, the original manufacturers, are going ahead of us, if you tamper with this device in any way, the software, immediately the network can tell. And
so me, how do I tell somebody is buying a used phone?
You check your IMEI. You make sure that you
say
also
bring the
verify,
phone before I part
yes,
with money. I check the IMEI.
You check the IMEI. If the IMEI is recording the device as it is being sold to you, then you get proof of ownership. Because then it means that someone maybe stole it but hasn't tampered with it.
Are there some apps that I can try to put on this phone to see if it is legit? Like what app I try to put it on? If it fails, then I know this is fake. Or it's not possible to generalize?
It's not possible to generalize. And most of the legitimate devices, because these people know that the moment you put your SIM card, it's going to start disturbing you and then maybe it will trigger your thoughts. They come pre-installed with a lot of apps. So you have a phone, you've bought it on the first day, and it has all these apps installed on it already, because they're trying to preempt that frustration you'll get when you try to connect to an Android server and you're not downloading apps. So most of them come pre-installed with most of the apps. So that might not be a very helpful check. Yeah.
But now this Simu KLEAR campaign, how much time do we have to make sure we are clear? And what will happen after the time? What are you going to do to me if I have a fake phone? Somebody is just looking at you and saying, what will she do to me?
So there's going to be, at the end of this consumer awareness phase, there's going to be an enforcement process, because there's a lot of liabilities attached to these illegitimate devices. There are a lot of losers. And yes, there's going to be enforcement. There's going to be both permissive and restrictive enforcement. Permissive, that we shall allow maybe certain devices within this period to remain with their status and allow them to die in natural death. Restrictive, that at the end of this campaign, the consumer awareness campaign, new devices, illegitimate devices that will try to connect to networks will not be connecting.
So you are going to take measures including putting phones on what you call the blacklist, meaning
Yes.
you're denied service.
There will be, denial of service will be after the restrictive
After this
date.
campaign,
Yeah.
you one day you'll wake up and somebody cannot call. If they had mobile money, they lose it there.
No.
What is going to happen? Or
At the
somebody
end of
will
this
get
campaign-
arrested.
No, at the end of this campaign, we will start with stopping new entrants. So make sure you, with your illegitimate device, should it die, please, when you're replacing it, get a genuine one so that you're not punished 2 times. But then the new ones that will be trying to access the networks won't even connect. So you'll buy a device. If it's illegitimate, it will not even connect at all.
So why don't we stop the new fake phones coming onto the market before the deadline? Isn't that possible? So that
really,
people don't
with
lose.
porous borders and without full control of points of entry,
You can't monitor everything.
that's not possible.
So what are you telling the consumer? At least you tell the consumer, buy a fake phone from now onwards at your own risk.
At your own risk, because we've put in place different ways for you to establish the status of that gadget even before you buy it. We have a portal on the network that helps, not on the network, on our website. So that person selling to you a phone, tell them to go to the UCC website and verify that IMEI, because it's written on the packaging. Anywhere you try to buy a phone, whoever is dealing in phones now should be able to access the internet at the point of sale and help you verify that IMEI.
Ugandans like to do things at last minute. Myself here, we were told to get new passport. I only got it last minute. How is Simu KLEAR campaign factoring in this behavior? People do things last minute, meaning that maybe the system will crash when everybody is rushing to. How are you providing for this?
So there are two ways. As this campaign soaks in, as the information soaks in, as people hear this message over and over again, our partners from the networks are going to also start telling you, because we can already tell the status of your device. They'll start sending you an SMS.
To say, hello Fred,
this device is illegitimate, plan to replace it.
Okay.
Simu yote KLEAR, plan to replace it. So that is going to be a constant probe. And you will also be jittery and uncomfortable with that device, because now you know what is at stake. But then also we're going to undertake robust engagement with through the original trader program to make sure that there is a buffering of something for everyone. This has nothing to do with cost. There are a lot of affordable, genuine or legitimate devices on market. We have Simu, as you mentioned, which is Buy Uganda, Build Uganda. But then there is something for everyone by different vendors. So we're going to partner with them to make sure that there is no vacuum that can be exploited.
Of course, as SCN, we are happy to work with you on the original trader program to ensure integrity of supply from manufacturing to the consumer. But as we leave, your message to the youth, your message to the women, any special group on this Simu KLEAR? Because I think these are the people you're targeting.
We have this message really goes out to everyone, because we don't build separate networks for the youth or for the women.
Okay.
The networks are for everyone, but our lives are mapped onto these gadgets. It's important that you map your life, you expose your family to a gadget that is legitimate, because this is your first and last line of defense as you use the networks to do all kinds of things. As you transact, please verify the status of your device, and thereafter keep checking to see that you're safe online and you're using ICTs in a positive way. But lastly, look out for fraudsters, because they'll still jump onto this campaign and try to call you and tell you UCC is doing this and what. UCC is not calling anybody. UCC is not...
They're not asking for my PIN.
Yes. The networks are not calling anybody about Simu KLEAR. So if anyone calls you and says Simu KLEAR, this, that, please, oyo mufere. Or should anyone call you for any reason and claim to be from UCC, oyo mufere, or even from the network.
So from where can we get the official information about Simu KLEAR?
Simu KLEAR official information from programs like these, from our website.
From you.
From social media.
Yes.
But we also have a toll-free line that you can call during working hours.
Toll-free line?
Yes.
What's the number?
Our toll-free line is 0800 222 777. If you cannot call, if you can't get through to our line...
This is just one number. We have 6 million fake phones. So imagine 6 million people jamming
Exactly. And we've really gotten a lot of feedback. Thank you very much to our viewers for being very responsive for this message.
So can't you create another number?
You can also... These numbers are allocated and they're limited, but you can also call your service centers, the customer care helplines of your networks. They can help you verify your device. You call them and ask them, Isimu yange KLEAR. You dial 100. Simply dial 100 on any network to take you straight to your customer care helpline of your network provider. And you tell the customer care people, is this phone of mine KLEAR? So that you know the status of your device. And you start
As a woman, you
planning
cannot live without giving advice to the women. Women in Uganda bargain the most, and most likely they are the ones buying the most fakes. Is that correct? And what do you tell them?
Yes.
Cheap things, cheap
As a woman, yes, I know we bargain for everything. We want a discount, including on tomatoes. But the trick about this is that legitimate or illegitimate has very little to do with the cost. You'll find a lot of people being sold to an illegitimate device at the price of a legitimate one. So This time round, as
No
you
bargaining.
bargain, as you bargain, start by verifying.
Don't
Establish
bargain
the
with the
status.
IMEI. First establish.
Establish the status. When the IMEI is genuine,
Then you
please bargain and save that money. As women, we save every.
What is
save
your
on
message
everything.
to the young girls? Should young girls date guys with the numbers which
No.
they should first check
Please.
the IMEI before you go on a date?
Yes, because he will take your picture and then it will make you look not very genuine because he'll be using a device with a fake phone, which will have a fake camera that will make you look a weird way. So check that IMEI of that person taking you on a date to make sure that that device is legitimate, so that even the camera is legitimate.
Thank you so much, Rebecca Mukite, Head of Public and International Relations at the Uganda Communications Commission. We've been having a big discussion here about the new campaign, Simu KLEAR, which is a campaign intended to get rid of the illegitimate communication devices, including your mobile. She's been loud and clear. Say no to fake phones, say no to counterfeit phones, say no to illegitimate phones. We hope you've learned a thing or two. You are able to check your genuine IMEI number. You're able to check if your phone will not be blacklisted after the period that she has given. You're able to check that the phone will ensure that your privacy, your data, your information, your financial transactions, your security is assured. This is a campaign that is intended to inform and empower the consumer, you the consumer. So we would like to sign off by thanking you as always for being a great audience, for being part of this program, which is intended principally to provide protection and safety to all of us as consumers. If you're new here, if you're watching this for the first time, this is the only show on the planet where we have a conversation about the big subject of counterfeits. We appreciate your support. We appreciate you liking. We appreciate you sharing. And until then, don't be fake. Buy and sell genuine mobile phones only.